All right, how you doing? This is Silver Joker here. I'm here with Silver 5150,
Hey guys.
and the joint venture has finally arrived. We've been kind of teasing you guys a little bit about that. So
That's right.
me and Silver 5150, we're going to start this new channel.
Well, hi guys. Most of you know who I am, and actually, most of you that know who I am know me through Silver Joker's praises. He found my channel, and I tell you, since that day, it's been a wild ride. Because to get caught up in the Joker's wake is a very good thing, but it's a very big thing, and I greatly appreciate it. So
Well,
yeah, I'm Silver 5150. You know me, guys. Your stack is not whack. You want to go ahead and get those 15 ounces to your name, and if you did not know, 5150 is the designation for someone not in their right mind, according to the police dispatchers in the United States.
okay. Well, okay. Well, I'll tell you this, Silver 5150, man. I did when I first heard your first video. When I first heard the first video, I don't think it was your first video. The first video for me, I was like, look, we got to get this guy in front of more people. He's got to have more subscribers than this because the information was just that good. But I put your name out there. I mean, I put your name out there
Absolutely.
in my video, but it was up to you to keep them. I mean, those subscribers came from you. I mean,
Right.
people will go and they'll listen to you maybe based on some of my recommendations, but you got to keep them. And
This is true.
yeah, your channel's growing, man. It's growing because of that. You got some really good information, man, and that's why I just couldn't wait to team up with you.
Well, I appreciate that because the thing was I was listening around to a lot of different channels and stuff, and I thought to myself, I said, okay, if I'm going to do this, what can I bring to the table that maybe is not there right now, or maybe hasn't been touched on? I wanted to try to be original, but also just provide some filling for those gaps that might exist out there in our content providers and stuff, or whatever content that people like to consume. So hopefully, I have resonated with that bit of the population, and yes, absolutely, we want to keep the Silver Train going with the dialogue, with the content, and help everybody navigate through this thing.
Well, I appreciate that, man. And I'll tell you this, I think you've got it. I think you nailed it. I read some of the comments when I watch your videos. I read some of the comments that are left, and you're right there. I think the information you're giving is relevant. I think it's easy to digest, and I think it's motivating. And I think a lot of
Hmm.
people get that. I mean, I know I get it. I mean, I watch your
Yeah.
videos, and I get motivated to change some of the ways I stack based on just the way you do it. It's just a lot
Really?
better. It flows a little better. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, but
Right.
let your channel be the test for that, man, because it's just growing leaps and bounds, and I'm glad of that.
All
So,
right.
so I asked you. I mean, I asked you because I'm the one that asked you if you do this, and I was very happy that you agreed to do this little joint
Hmm.
venture that we got here. So it's going to be a channel. At least that's what we want. We want this to be
Yeah.
a channel. And I think you had an idea where you said we should definitely do a video or digest a topic that's something new when something comes up. Go ahead and expound on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, we've been in the game for a while, and we've seen periods where there's been a bit of excitement here and there, but for the most part, up until recently, it's just been a pretty steady, stoic lull in the silver market, and things weren't overly exciting. However, in the last month or 6 weeks, you and
Yes.
I both know that it has picked up quite a bit, or as they like to say in the movies, the quickening kind of. It's quickened. Everything's gotten a lot faster. The news is coming out about silver. Silver's reacting to it. So it's almost like a catch-22. That the more they say about silver, the more active it gets. The more active it gets, the more they say about it. So when these events happen, when these breakthroughs happen, whether we go through $30, whether we find out that the comics is in a lot of trouble, or any of these big seminal events, I think it's important that whether we're on schedule or not, we take a time out to address these issues, with the listening public to help them navigate through this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. And also, this is what I was thinking. When the idea for this channel, I want to be something that's helpful, that's very helpful. I mean, you have a
Right.
lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. You've stacked a lot of silver, and you've done it your way. I have a little bit of silver that I've stacked over the years, and so I get a lot of questions on my channel constantly on how to do that. What's the best way to do that? What's the best silver to start with? How do you start? How do you go about developing a budget?
Right.
The price structure. What's the difference between the different types of silver? Your 90% silver, your generic silver, the premium
Hmm.
stuff, bars, rounds, different weights and sizes and stuff like that. So I really want this channel to be kind of a place where people can come and get those kind of questions answered. I mean, if not directly, at least we point them in the right direction to get those questions answered. And I think with the knowledge that you have, especially when it comes to markets and how the buying power of silver can really be utilized by an individual, and some of the
Hmm.
experience I have with going out and actually finding the silver and
Right.
purchasing it and dealing with the different coin stores and dealers, I think we have something here that I think people can kind of relate to. At least that's the hope. So,
Absolutely.
Putting this together, like this, bringing in the two different worlds of stacking, your style and my style, it pretty much creates a one-stop shopping element
yes,
for the silver stacking for the listener. Even those that are not familiar with the silver stacking world, that are just coming into it, they have that one destination they can go to get that beginning information, the more advanced information as they start to build their stack. Having those two different areas covered, the physical world, which I consider you in, where you're out there and you're amongst the population and learning about, what the real pulse is in the market and what's available in the retail market. And then my experience with the general markets, which was a pursuit that I figured I had to do. I figured out I had to do it in order to learn more about the direction of the metals markets. So, I have that to bring to the table. And so I think the listener and the casual stacker will really find this channel a great place to get that information. Coming into this world, I noticed a lot of people I talk to, especially older folks that are, maybe boomers and something like that. The one thing that kind of flummoxes them the most is, where do you go? Where do you go? And me, I'm a big retail shopper. I'm not big into the coin shops simply because my area doesn't have a lot of them. And so I had to learn to really work on, educate myself on the internet retail market. And so that would be my advice to a new stacker. If you're coming into this, I'm brand new. You've watched some videos, you're aware of some of the products that are out there. Now, of course, there's going to be your standard offerings, Silver Eagles and Silver Maples, for example, but that's not enough. You need to be able to find out what the trustworthy outlets are online, if you're going to shop online. And then amongst those trustworthy outlets, find the ones who are going to consistently give you the best deals and the best service overall. That would be my initial advice to a new subscriber, listener, or stacker.
that's good advice. That really is good advice. And from my end, I think I have a lot of coin stores, coin dealers where I live. And I would say if you do have access to a coin dealer, coin store, local coin store, build a relationship with your coin store owner. I mean, try to cultivate an ongoing relationship where you trust him, he trusts you or her. He knows what you're looking for. He knows what income range you're in. He gets to know you, and you'll be surprised at the deals that you can get from that.
It becomes a relationship.
Especially, it becomes a relationship, especially when he knows. If you find a really good local coin store owner, a coin store owner who really cares about the product that he's selling,
Right.
he's going to want to share that with you.
Right.
And so I found that if you try to cultivate a relationship of, wanting to understand, wanting to learn, wanting to
Hmm.
develop ways to stack silver economically, they're
Yeah.
more than willing to help you out with that. And I would seek those individuals out.
And and it reminds me a lot, like a lot of times I was enlisted, in the military. I was over in Germany, and the big thing in Germany was to go to some of these really, really small jazz clubs. If you didn't know where they were, you wouldn't find them. They were in an alleyway somewhere. It was nice and dark and dank and stuff, and you'd hear the sound, but you couldn't really figure out which doorway to go into. But if you found one, you would normally find a nice jazz club where there's a tiny jazz band, usually consisting of the faculty from some of the universities. They just get together on a Thursday night or a Saturday night and they play. As a jazz listener myself, I would go there, and the better they played, the more I would respond. They will start to do things that are outside of their script. They will start to play better solos.
Right.
They'll start to do all these things. They will start to give you more than what you came for because you have shown that interest. They are interested in helping you enjoy the jazz more. Same thing with the coin shops. You go in there, this is their life, this is their interest. They love this world. And if you express passion for that world that they live in, then they absolutely will begin to do things to share more with you and to enlighten you and show you things that you may have not otherwise seen.
Absolutely.
Now, in your experience, you've got new stackers out there, that have probably listened to your channel and stuff. But if you had to address one that wanted to know, say for instance, okay, I figured out where I want to go to shop, but what kind of silver should I start with, Silver Joker? What should I start my stack with? What would you tell a new stacker?
Well, for me, it's basically about a budget. It's what you can comfortably afford. And when I say comfortably afford, you don't want to spend money for silver bullion that you
Right.
may need like right away. Because as we know, silver spot price goes up and down. The value of silver goes up and down. So you don't want to spend a lot of money for silver and then have to turn right around and then sell it back at a loss. For the most part, at a loss for whatever emergency or whatever comes up. So I would say first determine what you want to spend, what you can comfortably spend. Buyers tend to favor the 3/9 silver over the 90% silver. I believe that it's not so much about the weight of the 90% silver; it's about the volume, how much you have.
Ah,
It's going to be your dollar amount that you put in because 90% silver is by face value. Okay,
right.
so it's sold by dollar amount, $2,
Gotcha.
$3, $4 on up. And
Okay.
so the more face value you can accumulate, the more value you'll have. If you got a dollar face, four quarters, two halves,
Right.
10 dimes, that's face value.
Okay.
All right. So they will, coin store owners or dealers will buy it at face value and sell it at face value. Okay.
Gotcha.
So the more face value you have, the more value you have. But you
Hmm.
can buy more face value in terms of how much you're going to pay
Right.
90% silver than you will with the 3/9 fine silver. And so I would say if you can have a mixture of both. If you're just starting out, maybe buy a lot of your 90% silver, accumulate that for a period of time. You're getting your 3/9s and you're getting your 90%.
I will tell you, one of the things that I really, really like about 90% silver is that you already have, multi-denominational value there. So in the case of, say you have quarters, which, represent the quarter ounce denomination, that is fractional. And then, of course, the pre-1965 dimes, which are representative of a 10th ounce,
Right.
that is even more fractional. And so you've covered a lot of bases there with the 90%. You've saved, money by going in and getting that. You have the collectability of its sovereign nature, which I think is a very important point. And then, of course, again, the fractional angle is taken care of also. So I really, really dig constitutional silver in that sense.
Yes. If you're going to start with, if you're going to start out stacking silver, I would suggest that you start off doing that. I mean, start off with your 90% silver, build up a nice little nest egg of that, and then maybe in the future either add some 3/9s to it or trade some of your 90% in for your 3/9 silver. But the most important thing, the best advice I can give you
Yeah.
is to make sure that you can afford what you're buying. Make a budget. There's nothing more important than making a budget so that way when you buy that silver, you can put it away and forget about it. That
Yeah,
is the
and I would
best way to
actually,
stack silver.
yes, I would actually, go a step further with that, with the prioritizing of the stacking of silver. Of course, in life there's going to be, things that are, of certain levels of import, things that have priority over other things in your life, like your health care, of course, is going to be an important factor. Shelter is always an issue for anyone. Having proper clothing, making sure that you've got, your food issues taken care of. And I'm not even talking like, in the prepping sense. I'm just talking about in the general life sense. If you have children, they have needs and stuff, whether it be scholastic, medical, what have you, make sure that if you're going to enter this world, and you're going to start off on a good foot, like Silver Joker just gave you, in terms of beginning your stacking, that you have everything else taken care of, and that when you stack, it is basically from a posture of disposable income, which it won't be disposable income. This is simply income that's not going to be allocated to anything else, and you're ready to use that for your stack.
I mean, just stack as much as you can. If you can only stack, I mean, it doesn't have to be the same amount either. I mean, it doesn't have to be, if you can stack 5 ounces a week, it doesn't have to stay 5 ounces a week. Maybe it's 3 ounces this week, maybe it's 7 ounces next week. The key thing is to stack it, to continue to put it away, and you really be surprised at how much you can accumulate over time.
Right. And so, a lot of stackers are going to come back after you with that and says, well, Silver Joker, you've got me on the right track and I'm following the guidelines and stuff. And it looks like it's accumulating a lot faster than I thought. This is really great. Can I go ahead and stop, or, do I have enough? How much is enough?
Well, I look at it like this. You got to determine what you're stacking silver for. Now, me and you, according to your videos, we're stacking for the long run. We're stacking for
Absolutely.
a future date becoming. Now, that
Yes.
doesn't mean that you're not going to use some of your silver along the way, but you're accumulating silver for a specific time and place of your choosing to use your silver. I mean, that's what
Right.
we're doing it for. So if you're going to do it that way, there's never a time to stop. There's never a time when you have got enough silver. You're going to stack it all the way up. Now, this is my own personal opinion. I mean, I'm no
Right.
financial expert or anything like that. This is just what I'm doing. I've talked to other silver stackers who have done this already, and it's what they've done. It's been successful for them. So I would say
Hmm.
there's not a time until you're that designated time for you to start utilizing your silver to stop stacking silver. Now, things are going to come up, and we'll get into those in later videos. But
Right.
if you're going to stack for the long run, you just keep right on stack as much as you can, as often as you can, without hurting yourself financially.
So don't feel as if once you have stacked and you may have gone a little too far that you're locked in and you're stuck. You're never stuck with silver. Silver is freedom, believe it or not. You just have to continue to educate yourself on the best ways to make it work for you.
You want to enjoy your silver. I mean, you don't
Hmm.
want this to be drudgery. I mean,
No,
to me, this is probably the most satisfying way to save money that I've ever come across. Now, granted, I've been stacking
I
for a
agree.
little while. I've been stacking for a little while, but stacking to me is fun. It's an
Yes.
emotional thing for me. It's not just an investment. It's not just a bunch of numbers ticking across the screen or anything. It is absolutely fun. I love going out
So
searching for
Silver Joker,
silver.
would you say that stacking silver is thrilling?
Oh yes,
Oh,
it
the
is.
thrill of stacking silver.
Oh, it's beyond the thrill. It's passionate for me. It's passion. Silver is it has so much passion. It's not so much. I look at it like this. Silver is not so much. I love silver, and when I say I love silver, I mean it. It's not just
Right.
that's not hyperbole. I mean that. But I
Hmm.
love what it can do for me. That's what I'm
Absolutely.
saying. I mean, silver is like a seed. You plant a flower, and you plant that flower knowing what it's going to be, right? So
Right.
you don't mess with it. All you do is you put that seed in the ground, you water
Right.
that seed because you want it to become the flower that you know it will, right?
Yes.
So you love the fact of what it's going to become.
Right. You can sense the potential, and you kind of look forward to that.
Absolutely. And what better way to secure your future than with something that you enjoy collecting, enjoy stacking, enjoy
And
investing in.
Exactly. And that is one of the things that I've always tried to, make evident in my videos and my posts and stuff, is that silver is the one item that you get the joy of shopping for that actually acts as a savings. So you're basically transforming your money. You're not extinguishing it into
Right.
something that cannot be used as capital again. You're actually enjoying the prospect of shopping for an item that is actually going to bring you more of a return than you actually
Absolutely.
put out. Okay.
Absolutely.
And it can behave also as insurance for all kinds of economic tail risk. So,
Absolutely.
you could get caught up and embroiled in the joy, in the passion, and the thrill of shopping for silver. Because trust me, guys, it can get pretty thrilling once you learn how to use multiple, avenues and vendors and stuff to get the best deals and stuff. The thrill of, catching the overnight markets, which we'll talk about in a later broadcast, to make sure you catch the best spot price, this sort of thing.
Right.
It is the only medium, that along with the gold to a small degree, but silver has the best value overall. It's the most underpriced asset in the history of history.
Yeah.
It gives you those three avenues to enjoy, and you're never, ever going to leave yourself in a lurch. You're never going to be left out. But there is a lot of tail risk you need to look out for when shopping for silver. Now, I can give you stories on top of stories of horrible mismanaged purchases
Yes, you
where I could
can.
have saved a ton of money, and I just missed, I either was impatient, or I got a little too excited, or I was a little bit of a panic. And so I know for a fact that many, many times I have overpaid for silver, when I look back on it. And I would never consider myself an authority on overpaying for silver. However, watching your channel, Joker, I've seen that you may be the most frugal silver stacker I've ever met.
Look,
How
I've
much
been,
did you pay?
I've been pretty lucky. I mean, I've stumbled into a network of stackers, personal friends of mine, colleagues, people who know people, that kind of stuff. Building, cultivating relationships with my local coin sellers,
Hmm.
and then them, allowing me into their little network and all that. So I've been pretty fortunate that way. So I do find the deals. A
Right.
lot of it is actively going out and looking, and a lot of it is the deals coming to me. Once you
Right.
get out there, once people understand your passion, your feeling,
Yeah.
and the fact that
Hmm.
you will actually spend money, because that's the
Oh, yeah.
important thing. I mean, people don't want to call you and say, "I have this much silver to sell," and
Right.
you're not ready to, jump at it. So you
Yeah,
got
and
to be
you're
ready.
wasting their time. You're
Right.
hemming and hawing around. You're
Absolutely.
maybe this, maybe that. Call me back. They don't have
Right.
time for that. When they're ready to sell, they're ready to sell. You need to be ready to buy.
Right. And I'll tell you something about passion. I feel like if you're not passionate about something, and that's anything, it doesn't have to be silver, it can be anything. If you're
Right.
not passionate about something, if you just have a feeling about it or you like it, if you're not passionate about it, when the going gets rough, when the going gets rough and you have to
Hmm.
dig down and get gut level honest and open with yourself, you
Right.
won't do the work. You won't put in the sacrifices. You won't do the hard work to do it if there's not
Absolutely.
passion there. Because passion sometimes is not rewarded immediately. Just the fact that I know that this is the right thing to do sometimes has got to be a reward enough.
In the world of instant gratitude, it's really hard to convey to people that, the acting on your passion for something that is going to work out right for you. It's a little hard for this instant gratification society we're in right now to be patient enough to wait for the reward for it. Would you agree?
Right. I agree. I agree completely. And I think when you see this hunk of metal sitting in front of you, it's hard
Mm.
to imbue some kind of emotional connection to it.
Right.
But you have to expand your mind. You have to go out past that and think beyond what that specific materialistic thing is to what it's going to do for you and your family.
Right.
So the silver is just, it's really the vessel for your contentment, your satisfaction, your
Hmm.
security. When you're thinking about what you want to do for yourself and your family in the future, and understand that this object, this shiny piece of metal, is going to help you accomplish all that, then
Right.
your thinking, your mindset will start to change a little bit, and you'll start to say, okay, yeah, I see now. It's not
Right.
just the silver, not the physical metal. It's what it's giving you. It's what it's
Absolutely.
doing for you. It's what it's going to do for you.
Hmm.
That what gives you that emotional connection to it.
And I can tell you, for me, the emotional connection actually turned out to be physical. When I first ran into a lot of the stacker channels and stuff, I was actually watching before I had purchased a single ounce of silver or even held one in the modern context. Of course, as a kid, I'd handled plenty of silver, didn't realize what I was doing at the time, just figured it was money and it would be that way for time immemorial. But of course, we know that it wasn't. But when I went back here here in recent years, when I first started, becoming passionate about stacking, and I actually had the first silver eagle that I'd ever touched, and the first 3/9 silver that I've ever touched, hit the palm of my hand.
Mm.
The impact was like a sledgehammer. It really
Yes.
was. I felt the weight, the gravity, the importance, and the ability of silver to be the solution to so many things, financial,
Right.
as it were. I could feel the wealth seeping into my skin from that silver. You have to experience it to understand where I'm coming from. Now, of course, the impact is greater with a large amount of silver if you happen to come in contact with a 10-ounce bar as your first initial exposure. And of course, the impact is going to be greater. If it's a 100-ounce bar, well, you can forget it. You're done for. Trust me, you're bitten and you're not getting out of it,
You're,
and you won't think about anything else
you're
until you
absolutely right
start
about
to
that.
stack.
You're absolutely right about that. And that's the important part. And I think that's what new stackers need to understand. You got to think about silver in terms of just a place to store your hard earned income, what you worked
Absolutely.
hard for so it's not doesn't dissipate and becomes, ticks back to zero. This is
Right.
something that you can physically, I mean, beyond paper investments or whatever investments you got into, even I would include your 401k or
Right.
whatever retirement that you have
Hmm.
in your future. I would say that the act of physically
Right.
holding that silver in your hand, hearing it clang together, for me, even the smell
Oh,
is
yes.
just it's that thing. Like, I know that this hunk of metal here, this beautiful, heavy hunk of metal in my hand, is going to help me to realize all the positive things for my financial future.
Absolutely. And, I'm going to tell you, I have, for you biblical folks out there, for you people that, kind of dust your Bible off every once in a while, like I do when you get in there and you kind of poke it around.
Right.
There are plenty of analogies in the Bible where, the Lord will tell you that, he has gifts stored up for you in heaven, and he has, a place for you in heaven. And these gifts will not be eaten away by moths. They will not rust. They will not be, degraded or tarnished in any way, because these are gifts. These are pure. They are true, and they are from the Spirit. And when you think in earthly terms, in terms of monetary financial instruments, silver actually is, the equivalent in the earthly sense
Yeah.
of that type of money.
Treasure.
It will not degrade. It'll actually only go up in its ability to store your wealth. Like you said, when you own a 10-ounce bar of silver, that silver has your physical effort, your energy, your time, your sweat, your effort is stored in that 10-ounce bar.
That's
It
beautiful.
is inoculated
Mhm.
from time, from the ravages of inflation, and from any kind of government malfeasance that's going to take place out there. You have frozen your value, your time, your effort in a cocoon that's protected from any economic tail risk. And you can carry it with you as long as you want. You can carry it through any changes, and you can open it up on the other side and have the exact same values you had when everything started. You
Absolutely.
can't lose.
All right. So we have, hopefully, if you're still listening, we have kind of tweaked your interest in silver. We've kind of
Oh, yeah.
motivated you to kind of get out there and buy yourself some silver. So that's what we want to do right now in
Hmm.
this episode. We want to just get you excited about it, kind of give you some try to give you an idea of how emotionally invested we are in the silver that we stack, and also some of the technical side of why we stack it. Okay, so if you tune in next time, we're going to tell you guys how you can do it, how you can
Right.
physically stack that silver, what silver to look for, what's the best
Hmm.
value you can get out of silver, and how you go about acquiring it. And
Right.
and I'll ask you this, Silver 5150, is enough enough? When is enough silver enough? Now don't answer. Don't answer. I know you I know you want to answer that question, but we'll save that for the next time. But
Okay.
we got a treat for you guys. If you're still listening, we need a name for our channel. What do
Yes,
you
we
think?
do.
What do you think? What do you think? You think we should do a giveaway for that? You think we ought to
Well,
give
the thing is, if you're going to incentivize, or make it even a contest, to get the best possible name or title for this channel, I think you definitely need to sweeten the deal with maybe some free silver. What do you
Well,
say, Joker?
I'll tell you this, man. You're Silver 5150, and I'm the
I am.
Silver Joker. So we can't come with no rinky dink, giveaway.
No,
I
no,
mean,
we
with
can't.
both of us,
Look,
and this is the Pioneer Challenge. This is the first episode. This is the pilot to see if
yes,
this
it
is
is.
gonna see if this is gonna be accepted by the YouTube community.
We've got to make
So
this one for the ages.
we got to make this one. So we got to come up with a giveaway, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, with Silver 5150 and the Silver Joker doing a joint giveaway. We're talking about a giveaway. Well, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to, I don't want to jinx it.
Well, we're just putting the idea out there because we
Put it
definitely
out
need
there.
help with the name for this channel.
We need a
And,
name.
and the better name is, the better the giveaway is going to be.
There you go. That's it. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We will choose the name. We will choose the name from the entries, and I'm
Right.
glad we're putting this at the end of the broadcast here, because that's the true fans are the ones that
That's
are
right.
still here.
The ones that are still listening,
The
they
ones
are
that are
they are
still
hearing this right
they're the
now,
ones.
and
And I'm going to tell you something.
man.
And when we talk about this in the future, we won't even talk about the giveaway until the end.
We'll know it when we see it.
We'll know it when we see it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So let me just give you guys an idea of what we're going to talk about in the future. Okay, we're going to talk about, why is silver valuable? What gives it value?
Right.
All right. We're going to say, why does it have value? Okay, so we know what gives it value. Why does that give it value? What is
Right.
intrinsic value? What is the other type of value? How can you invest in silver bullion? I mean, there's lots of ways to invest in silver bullion. In my opinion, there's some good ways and some very bad ways, and we'll talk about some of those. I'll give you my personal
Absolutely.
opinion about that. We'll give our personal opinion about that. And then, of course, the big one is why stack silver at all in the first place.
Right.
So these are some of the questions we're going to try to answer. We're going to try to give you guys as much information as we can possibly fit into a roughly 30, 35, 40-minute podcast.
Yeah, we
And,
don't want to leave them spinning in a circle.
Absolutely. And, and if you have any questions or any ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. We will read them all. Now, I'm not
Yes,
sure
you
we'll be
guys
able to
know we
respond
do.
to them all, but we definitely read them all. And I try to answer all the questions, as does my friend Silver 5150. And I'll just let you guys know, we talk a lot off air. I mean, we have a lot of conversations. We have a lot of conversations over the phone, a lot of conversations on the phone. I'm going to tell you guys something. You guys don't know the half of Silver 5150. If you guys heard some of the stuff that this guy has gone through to stack silver, he needs to write a book. He
I don't want to
does.
scare them. I don't want to scare them, Joker. I don't want to scare them. I
you
I
need to
want
write
to
a
get
book.
them. I want to make sure they're comfortable stacking, and then maybe, I'll let them in on some of that scary stuff.
They have no idea. Trust me. They have no idea.
Well, it can't be any scarier than some of the neighborhoods you've gone to buy silver.
Okay, hey, look, I've visited those deep, dark places, buddy. I have visited some that I would not even dare try to post on YouTube.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it's just like Doug Casey. Yeah, Doug
gone-
Casey said that if you want to find out where the value is, if you want to go where the money is, you have to go where the danger is, and that's you going for silver.
Well, I can tell you some stories. Where you might want to hide the kids and put your headphones on for this one.
There you go.
And maybe we'll tell a few of those in the future as well. So anyway, that's our podcast for today. You guys let us know what you think. I mean, this is our pilot. This is the first one. Hopefully they get better.
I think they'll get better.
We just want to see how this is going to be received. I mean, we want to see if you guys want more of this. If you think it's something valuable or something like that, let us know. If you think we need to go fly a kite, hey, let us know that too.
Absolutely.
But, be honest. Be very honest. And once you guys come up with a name for this, right now, I think it's going to be just posted on on either of our channels. We'll pick which.
I think probably best on your channel because most of my fans are yours. ones that have migrated from your channel to mine.
Well, I don't know about all that, but we'll pick one channel for now, and then when we come up with a name, it'll be that channel, and then you guys will have what I'd like to say, the best of both worlds.
Excellent. I agree.
I'm being too modest.
All right,
so
Mr. Modest.
there you go. All right, so until next time, you guys enjoy what you do, and let's keep this silver train rolling. Keep stacking.
Keep stacking, guys.
Peace.